Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. First thing we need to do is approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Jill and Ryan Ruda. Moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, next we need to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Ryan Schreibogel,
Second.
Ryan Ruda. Moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Recognitions.
First thing to talk about is our very own Jennifer Barrett is a finalist for the Crystal Apple Award, and this Thursday there'll be the ceremony itself is taking place over at the Clarion at 6:30, and we have tickets to go to that, so that's exciting. It's been several years since a Holcomb person has made it into the finals, so hopefully this will begin a new tradition for us. I also want to take the opportunity give a shout out to Monica and Randy Tyne, who's not going to be here tonight, but a couple weeks back, we got the message that the water, had been cut off. So we immediately called and got hold of both people, and they just fine, calm, cool, and collective, took care of it. So I appreciate that, Monica, because it'd be really easy to act like your hair's on fire and say do everything but remain calm. And then I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank Lance, Tom, Sam, all the people who work on snow and whatnot today. They did a nice job the way this backed in on us today. We're ready to roll for tomorrow, right? Attaboy. So anyway, just take the opportunity to recognize those who are doing everything they should be.
And we're a day up on Deerfield and Lakin.
We're winning. So we're winning.
We're months up on them. Thanks, guys. All right, let's move to financials, and Mike.
Okay, on page 3 of the warrants, I'll just point out we had flow through from the state for High Plains of $135,046. And then on page 5, paid for some more of the skylight repairs to SGH Concepts, $7,455.
That was a hailstorm at it hit the high school back in the spring.
So on page 7, total warrants for this month is $398,980.57.
We had a hailstorm? Sure it wasn't dust.
There's
Page
wind too.
yeah. Page 9, cash balances are doing okay. And then page 11, our fund expense summaries, where we expect to be on all of our expenditures this time. And then back behind that's the high school and middle school reports. So if you have any questions.
If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the financials at $398,980.57.
So moved. Second.
Ryan Ruda and Curtis. Moved and seconded to approve the financials. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, no public patrons, so we'll move to administrative reports and Dr. Meyer.
All right, a couple things. I was going to talk to you about KISA, but the principals included that information in their reports, so I'll just leave that as it is. And when it comes time since Randy and Amy aren't here, I'll highlight something for them that relates back to the KISA work that's taking place. Celebration, we started back up the Soup with the Soup event this last week or so, week and a half ago, Casey. It's been since March of 2020, so it's been a while. So this absolutely signals we're back to normal. You have in front of you, I pulled the information from when this began back in 2018, the various suggestions that we'd received throughout the time, because the cost of entry, besides coming in and eating my soup, hopefully if you're not lactose intolerant, is to explain where you work in the district, and then, or what you do, and then also if you're king or queen of the world, what would you do to help us with our mission? And it's fascinating information because the people have the opportunity to tell the story from their perspective. So what you have there is a running total of things, and the items that are underlined are things that are now a reality or are in process of being a reality. So it's not like we don't pay attention to the information we receive from our people. On the back of the entire thing, you'll see I've totaled the items. And so, the number one vote getter was 15 times. People said we need additional paras. And what do we have? We've got additional paras now. So it's pretty interesting information. Not everything on there is being done, nor will it on my watch. I'm not in favor of a 4-day week. I don't think it's good for kids, and I know it's not good for the classified staff. It takes 20% of their salary out of their pocket. But that's shown up multiple times. Be that as it may. It's someone's opinion. That's good. The point is, it's acting up and going again. How that literally works, we've got a little procedure Robin and I did. She comes in. So you've got the slips of everybody who works in a given building in a bowl, and we literally pick two names. And then we send an invitation out to the people who are drawn, and they say, hey, I'll be there, I can't be there. Our next one is December 8th, and what happens is we hear from somebody who said, I can't make it. Well, we draw again from that pile. As far as board members, how that works is I write down the name of all the board members randomly. Then I ask Robin to pick a number, and she picks a number, and I've labeled the numbers. And Casey was our first representative. Jill is our second representative. And the truth of the matter is I like them best. So there you get to come. No, it's randomly done as well. So we've started Soup with the Soup.
We already knew that.
I've changed the title of it to Sup with the Soup because I want to expand my offerings, but my soup this last time turned out to be really good, so I think I might just keep at it. We'll see. So, next item, the Garden City Community College Technology Grant. I wrote to you guys about this, but this is pretty exciting stuff. Big old federal grant. I think, is it 10 districts in the network, Ryan?
It's 11 sites altogether.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. By saying yes to this, we'll get 2 of our rooms at the high school outfitted with 2 TV monitors, a computer, speaker and microphone array. Then the college is hiring 2 dedicated people to keep the network going. The idea being they'll be able to zoom in from the college to teach college classes to our kids. But what I'm really excited about it is they also said, these are your rooms, use them as you need. And so if down the road, we have difficulty with the hiring of positions, we could set up a relationship, pick another district, and have third hour, have XYZ beamed in. And the college just says, yeah, have at it. That'd be great. No plans to do that today, but the opportunity is there. So it hedges their bet against issues with hiring. The fiber project is complete at long last, done and done. Currently, and this sets us up for really good, rich internet for years and years to come, like 30 years. It sets us up really, really well. Right now, we are accessing 1 gig. We could access up to 40 gig. So, that tells you the power of what this infrastructure is there in play. Because literally, who knows, 10 years from now, maybe there will be holograms. Don't know. That'll take more bandwidth. Yeah, exactly. Matt will still be the board president. And so we'll have hologram teaching. Somebody put that in notes for sure. One last thing to discuss with you, just in the interest, continually looking to figure out a way to better recruit people. We're kicking around the idea of moving our paydays from once a month to twice a month. My directors, who have told me on multiple occasions, we've lost potential candidates because we pay once a month. You have before you tonight a proposal to allow advance payment for classified people who come into us. I would hope that will help. But maybe the answer is to go to twice a month payment. Hugoton does this, so if we decide to go down this path, we'll be picking their brain a whole lot. USD 501, where I worked before I came here, they do it that way as well. I would envision doing, like, if we do this, the 1st and the 15th. Mike and I are working in long and hard on this because we're talking about doubling his work on payroll. And so that work would, and he just says, sure, bring it. So if it displaces X amount of work from creates a pile of work, then we have to look at something and push it somewhere else or see whatever, where we go with it. My point is, it's not a reality at this point, but we are continually looking at ways to get more and more applicants because it's not just a teacher shortage, it's a shortage in all areas. And so this might just make the difference. So we'll see. That's my report.
How many districts do you think in the state, just guessing, would do it twice a month?
I know of 2.
Yeah.
The norm, and I've worked in 7, the norm is once a month.
Every other industry pays twice a month.
Yeah, right, that's correct.
Or
And
biweekly.
that's right. Now, the tricky thing is, we don't want to say every other week, because then there'd be 26 pay periods
Right.
in the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that cuts the paycheck is what it does. So if we say the 1st and the 15th, but what I have to look into is the legals. You know, how does the board approve the 15th payment when, you know, we've got to go back and pick up hours? You know, when does the pay period end? If people on salary, simple, you know, divide it by 2, right? For the people who are an hourly wage, you know, we have a cutoff date. Right now, it's the Friday at the end of the month.
Last Friday of the month.
Last Friday of the month, yeah. Well, we'd be doubling that somewhere. So I guess the last Friday of the month would be the pay period for the middle of the month, and then the second Friday of the month would be the end of the pay period for the payment on the 1st. We've got to work it out. But people who are doing it, I'll just call them up and say, hey, you know, how do you do this? Because the board has to approve warrants in order to pay them out and or payroll.
So the way we used to get paid, we basically were supposedly getting paid monthly, but we got an advance in the middle of the month, and that advance was the same amount every month. It was just an estimated half of what we would normally get if we worked all straight time.
Are you guys public or
And
private?
then we're public,
Okay, so same ballgame then.
and at the end of the month, they would calculate the overtime hours and all that, and true it up at the end of the month. So the checks that came out on the 15th were the same every month.
And then the others would vary depending on.
Others would vary depending on if there was more days that month or.
Write that down, Mike. Write it down. So anyway, we're looking at it. I'm not convinced we need to do it, but my directors have been on me enough to say, and I didn't realize it until we happened to ask the question. And they said, yeah, we've lost candidates because of this. Yeah, and I'll be darned. Because I could have $1,000 sitting here and, okay, here's $1,000, or here's 500. See you in 2 weeks. Here's another 500. I mean, it's the same payment. But if people aren't used to the budgeting for a month, okay, well, we're gonna look at it. So.
And in today's world, with everything being 20% higher, they're probably needing that every 2
Part of
weeks.
the negotiated agreement, how often, when they.
Yes, we'd have to negotiate for the teachers, not for the classified staff. You could do it tonight for the cooks. Please don't, because we're not set up for that. We're not set up for that.
You got till tomorrow.
But yes, for the teachers, it would take an agreement, a negotiated agreement to make that change. And just a reminder to everyone, we have a 2-year deal, so we are not negotiating this year. Called and talked to the lawyers today, as a matter of fact. We don't need to have the training, nor do we have to exchange letters on the 31st of March by having a 2-year deal. So there you go. Now, if we decide to do this, we'd have to open up for that single item and come in and do it.
We probably need to find another committee for the negotiators to be on then. Sounds like I should have stayed on negotiations. All right. Okay, let's move to buildings. Tom?
The only thing I really have is I need one guy. And I hope,
Microphone.
cross my fingers, I hired one guy, he never showed up, and I hired this guy out of Ulysses, and we'll see Monday. I don't know.
Yeah, you have before you tonight a recommendation to hire, but we've not heard from him for a little while. So
Called him 4 times, and I not had a phone call back, so I'm, anybody that, I'll train him, I don't, it doesn't matter.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Grounds, Lance? Nothing further. Okay. And Sam is probably driving a bus somewhere, or?
I no, he should be here.
I saw him heading north, so I think he's checking the road.
I had asked him to go check everything before the meeting or following directly after, and he was like,
I did see him heading north just a little bit ago.
Okay. All right, Monica, food service.
Nothing further.
Okay. Mr. Ackerman, technology? Yep.
he's stepping to the microphone.
Nothing further.
That's how that works.
Thank you. All right, we'll move to principals, and we have one this evening, and that will be Mr. Jerry Johnson. And he's got to cover the others, too.
Just say things. We'll tell him what you said later.
We could have a lot of fun if I was in charge of talking about Wiley and HES and Holcomb Middle School. We could talk about a lot of things I don't know about, but we could go. Highlight that I would like to talk about is our school play that took place this last Friday and Saturday. Kids did an awesome job. It's fun to see these kids, how hard they put in during the fall. They start practicing almost right out of the gate. Mrs. Bowler and Mr. Mersman. Mrs. Bowler does all the trying to find the play, what we should be doing. Mr. Mersman does all the behind the scenes, building the sets and all that kind of different stuff. These kids come in after like fall sports practice. They go in at night, and they just do an awesome job. Riley Tyne was our lead, and we talked today at the school just about how she nailed every single one of her lines the entire time, and it was like an old English language, and so it's really tough, and she just nailed it, and it was just fun to see. It's fun to see kids that exemplify what we're asking them to be at the high school level, and they go out on their own. They put all the effort into it. A couple of other areas that we highlighted this morning at our Monday morning meeting is we had several students make honor choir, KMEA honor choir. I was looking for the email to make sure I knew the names for sure, and so I'm probably going to get yelled at by Mr. Bright because I don't have the names off the top of my head, and I'm not going to start naming some and then not name the rest of them. So we had several students make KMEA honor choir, which is a huge honor. There's hundreds of people from around this side of the state. You have to audition, so you have to actually send in what your tape is, and they pick you out of hundreds of peoples around here, and it's not by size or anything like that. You're going up against everybody. We had 2 from the honor band that made it, so that was really awesome. And then Mrs. Vinjon took a meets judging team down to OPSU, and they did really well. And Oklahoma's different how they do it. They don't do they do all of their, what I want to say, competitions on days. So they don't just do meets judging on these days, all the way through, and land judging and all that. They all do them at one big event. So you have hundreds of kids coming in to these big college days, and our meets judging team took 4th. And there's a point there that we don't do in Kansas that they do in Oklahoma where you have to take a test. So we didn't do very well on the test because we don't practice that part, because it's only in Oklahoma they do that, and we still pulled 4th. So we're pretty excited about our meets judging team. I told them this morning it's we're going to nationals or we bust type thing, but they said there's a lot of pressure on them. So kids are doing great things inside of our school, and we're pretty proud of them. So
Thank you, Jerry. All right, let's move to unfinished business and permanent long-term substitute teacher position.
Okay, this is, been kicking this around for a while. The idea being, this is all related back to, once again, teacher recruitment and retention. And so currently in our district, we have 3 different classifications of subs. What I'm proposing is that we create 2 more classifications. And they would be Tier 1, long-term permanent substitute teacher, and Tier 2, long-term permanent substitute teacher. The difference being these individuals act as teachers. They do lesson plans, they dialogue with the parents, they go to all the professional learning. I mean, they're serving as teachers, okay? They would not be a part of the negotiated agreement. They would receive health insurance and all the leaves and whatnot that we do for people. The difference between the 2 is a Tier 2 permanent substitute teacher has a bachelor's degree. The Tier 1 does not. The compensation for the 2, the Tier 1, the one without a bachelor's degree, would be at $40,000 a year. The Tier 2, the person who has a bachelor's degree, is at $43,000 a year. Currently, our base salary for a starting teacher is $46,000. And so I recommend that we create these new positions moving forward literally tomorrow, starting tomorrow.
So this would take effect
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Right, so the pay would be reflective of this next month, so we'll not retroactive anything.
Right.
It'll just move forward from there.
Okay, that was my question. Yeah, I think in this climate and environment, this is the direction we need to be going. I appreciate the research and looking into this there, but I endorse and would make a motion that we approve as presented.
I have one quick question. Do you think the classified staff at 46,000, they already passed the test, is 3,000 less? Are they gonna feel like, I don't know. I don't know if 40 and 43 is the number. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
I did not conduct a survey because I didn't want to make unimplied or implied promises that this was going to be a reality until it became a reality. Ryan, I don't know. I mean, it teaches them. Now, I will tell you on this,
Base goes up next year to,
they stay put. Somebody who stays as a
no,
perm-
but the base for.
Oh, yeah, it goes up by $1,000. It goes to 47. And as long as somebody's under this classification, he or she stays put. So 5 years from now, I never move on to the other side. I'm still making 40 or 43.
Okay.
Whereas 5 years from now, the fully licensed certified teacher will be making more than that.
So the gap continues to grow.
The gap would continue to grow. You know, I will tell you there is good work still taking place on a performance assessment in lieu of the praxis testing. Had a nice conversation the other day with the director of teacher licensing. He expects it to go before the Professional Standards Board before Christmas, and then he expects it to go to the State Board of Education at some point in time later. And if they approve of it, then that becomes a form of testing to achieve a license. But before we get too excited about this thing, literally a reg that I started pushing through with the State Department of Education 8 years ago is just now becoming reality. It takes a while to get through all the machinations of bureaucracy because everything they do has to go through the Attorney General's office to make sure it doesn't go against something else. So it's a good movement forward, but it's not a done tomorrow type thing. So, but no, I guess to your point, Ryan, and like Ryan Ruda pointed out, Dr. Ruda, if a person stays put at this spot, they're not going to be getting extra money. Whereas a fully licensed person with testing under their belt will. But I will say, for anybody involved in this as we speak, this is more money in their pocket right now than what they're currently making.
I will second Ryan's motion.
Okay, Ryan Trevel. Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the permanent long-term substitute teaching positions as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, let's move to multi-tiered system of support.
Okay, MTSS, multi-tiered system of support, is an instructional approach to meeting the needs of each and every individual student. Any kid who walks in through our doors, we view them as tier 1. Now, I'm going to use the phrase tier again, totally separately than tier that I just talked about. Okay, so put that out of your head. Now we're talking about students. Tier 1, every kid who walks in the door is a tier 1 student. As we discover possibly growth areas or deficiencies, we do through progress monitoring and whatnot, then they become more categorized as tier 2. And we put into play strategies and protocols and things to help them, because the idea is to get everybody back down to tier 1, or up to tier 1, whichever way you want to think about it. Ultimately, that person could go on to tier 3. As we get to the higher levels in this setup, we even get more didactic with our approaches. Ultimately, if we have a student at tier 3 and it's just not turning, the next step is testing for special education. That's where this heads, okay? We've had MTSS in the elementary schools for quite some time. It's for math, reading, and behavior, okay? And it's been there for quite some time. We are going through a year-long training now to do this at the secondary level, middle school and high school. And the elementaries are involved in this as well. Across the state of Kansas, you'll see pretty much every district has MTSS at the elementary level. Very few have it at the secondary level. It's needed, but very few have it. And so now we're jumping into it. It's really been really good professional learning thus far. We're at the very end of phase 1. This is the district leadership team is involved in this. And we're coming out of it with the ideas of we're going to really accentuate teacher clarity. Teacher clarity being when a principal walks into a classroom and just talks to a kid, we would want the kid to be able to say, what are you learning? Why are you learning it? And how will you know when you've learned it? The idea being, if that student can verbalize that stuff, then the teacher has been clear enough about what's going on, and that's the first step toward really improving academic growth. So that's an area we're really pushing through phase 1. We're getting ready to jump into phase 2. At phase 2, we'll start getting actual strategies and protocols to be utilized at the middle school, high school level. So XYZ kid is now level 2, and so, or tier 2, rather. So we then say to the teachers, okay, this student's at tier 2, and here's why. Utilize these evidence-based strategies. Everything you've been doing at tier 1, great, but now you need to use these. And so it just corral, it kind of helps corral the cats, if you will. So excited about this. It's a year-long training. We look to launch in August. And I do believe this, in concert with all the other work we're doing, will move that needle on our lagging indicators. And I've been talking about that for a while, the lagging indicators of testing. So that's what's going on with MTSS. President Jones.
All right. Well, let's move to new business and adjustments to classified employee handbook.
And this also falls in the realm of recruitment efforts and just trying to get all of our people being treated in a way that, they have a little bit more pep in their step, if you will, and help bring people to us. Some of these ideas, both these ideas I've taken from the negotiated agreement of the teachers and applied them to the classified handbook. And because what's good for the goose type thing. Currently, both these items are in the negotiated agreement. If a teacher notifies the board in writing of their intention to retire, not just leave us, but fully retire from Capers, then they receive a $750 check if it's by November 1. By December 31st, you get a $500 check. So I'm recommending the same approach for the classified staff. Now, yes, we've already missed the November 1 deadline, but I did have conversations with people, said just go ahead and give it to us, I'll have it here, and we would retroactive that. Didn't receive any, but this would, what's the word, canonize it? No, that's not the word, codify it. And so at least we're set up still for the December date. The second adjustment is, I talked about earlier, is an advance on payment for the classified staff. A couple years back, we put into play new teachers to the district. Instead of having to wait till the September paycheck, he or she could choose to get 13 paychecks instead of 12. And we just, back off 8% or whatever the math is on that, and they get 13 checks instead of 12. This idea would be a person comes to work for us, they work for 10 days, and then we'd just cut them a check after those 10 days. Because as it sits, depending on when a person comes to us, it literally could be 42 days before the first payday. So is that the issue why people aren't coming, or is it the every 2 weeks? Don't know. I want to start with this. There's two approaches on this. One is what I just said. It's an advance on that first paycheck, so the first paycheck would be less that amount. Or we could even be more aggressive later on if you wanted to, perfectly legal, to give a signing bonus. And so you could say after 10 days, you come to work for 10 days, here we're going to cut you a check. And then your full check, you get a full check at the whenever it hits. My recommendation tonight is it's an advance against the first paycheck. So.
And if we went to every 2 weeks, this would just go away and we'd just go to every 2 weeks.
Unless we wanted to keep a signing bonus if we went that way. Yeah, yes. I think we'd have to obviously go back and do the math on that. I don't want to say absolutely, but I'm sure that would impact it because we'd be getting paid more often. Yeah.
I recommend we approve the adjustments to the classified employee handbook as presented by Dr. Myers.
Second it.
Okay, Ryan Schreibogle and Jill. It's been moved and seconded to approve the adjustments to the classified handbook as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, boiler coil purchase.
How apropos we're talking about this tonight. When we were working with this a week and a half ago, it was 60 degrees or whatever. But we had a boiler coil shoot craps on us at the high school. We have a 4-boiler system at the high school. With this being down, it takes us down to 3 boilers, which taxes the system if we don't replace it. Since it is it was a $20,000 pre-bid number we received. We went through the formal bid process. We received 2 formal bids. One for $24,765, the other for $28,031. So my recommendation, I believe we need to replace this, otherwise we're just, hamstringing the system and then we'll have more problems later on. I recommend that the board accept the bid from Tetro for $24,765.00.
I'll second it.
Okay, Curtis and Jill. Moved and seconded to approve the bid from Tetro for the coil replacement at the high school. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Executive session.
I originally had 15 minutes, and I thought, 20 or 25. So
Okay.
killing me, Smalls. Killing me.
We're doing pretty good. Okay. What do you say we go into executive session for 20 minutes?
Like I poked your eye out, Ryan.
Okay, 20 minutes at 6:35. And we'll have Dr. Myers, anyone else?
No,
Just
not
Dr.
right now.
Myers,
Yeah.
okay? Anyone?
So moved.
Second it.
Ryan, Ruda, and Casey?
Jill.
Oh, Jill. God, Casey. Moved and seconded to go into executive session for 20 minutes, beginning at 6:35 to include Dr. Myers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
That's
All right, we're back in session. Let me move my deal. I need a motion to hire Anthony Marquez for our maintenance staff.
So moved.
And second.
Ruda and Schreibogle. Moved and seconded to hire Anthony. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay. I need a motion to hire Matthew Oliver as a full-time grounds person.
So moved.
Jill? Casey? Moved and seconded to hire Matthew. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. I need a motion to approve the supplementals as presented.
So moved.
Ryan, Ruda, and Jill. Moved and seconded to hire the supplementals as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. I need
That's
a
all I
motion
have.
to adjourn.
So moved.
Jill,
Second.
Schreibogle, moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?